Uh, uh, they told us, they told us that this squad, this midfield was the truth. They said, they literally said it's pre-season FC. These lot always premature. They said to us, this is the team. Carrick at the wheel. And here we are. Big up, guys. It's your boy Manny here. Smash the like, smash the subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. And I can't believe what I have just watched with regards to Hull City and Man United. Hull City 2, Manchester United 0. Listen, I am shameless. I am shameless. My team just lost. I've just watched my team lose. But I will address my team in the next video. I want to address United fans. I want to address Manchester United. And this game was, it came out of the blue. I didn't foresee it. I'm not even going to lie. I've always said, and I've always been of the fact that the United midfield is not good enough. Buying Andre Santos and buying Tielemans for, you know, small money or bargains, as they would say, etc., it should not be applauded. It's not like you've done so much. That's the point I have been really reiterating to people week in, week out. And guess what? I have been proven right. I have been proven right. And I know people are going to be in the comments saying, oh, money, but you guys just lost your game. Yes, we did. But let me tell you something. We did not lose to a newly promoted team, first and foremost. Secondly, it was not our first 11 that played. So I think 3 of our players are going to be starters in probably a couple of weeks, right? Whilst for United, this was the team. They had Lamont in goal. They had Luke Shaw on the left as a left back. They had, who did they have as right back? Mazraoui as right back. They had Maguire centre back and Heaven as centre back. They had the mighty Tielemans. They had the mighty Andre Santos. They had Cunha up top. They had Mbuemo on the right. They had Fernandes in the middle. They had Dogu on the left. And guess what? That is 90% at least of the players that are going to be playing week in, week out, Champions League, Premier League for Manchester United. So I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say it. This is not even a game. This was not a game where you watch it and think, you know what? Hull City got away with it. No. Hull City held their own. Hull City dominated that game. Hull City should have scored more. And you know what? I have to give props to Hull City, because I was one of the people who thought that these guys are going to go down quicker than they came up. I looked at the circumstances. I thought Hull City, they finished towards the bottom of the playoff qualification spots. They lost to Southampton. They lost to Southampton in the playoffs. They then got drafted in, and I did watch that final, and they were atrocious. It was one of the most horrendous playoff finals I've ever watched. So I thought, money, these guys are going down. And not only are they going down, they'll probably go down with one of the worst tallies ever recorded in the Premier League. Boy, was I wrong. I mean, it's game week 1, but I have to say, Ollie McBurney up top, brother, kudos. Their wing backs, the crossing from the wing backs, kudos. They have a solid team. They have a team that play for each other. They have a team that play with passion. That's why they beat United 2-0. It was a great display of tenacity and heart. Wonderful display of tenacity and heart. I have to give it to them. Props to them. And then I have to look at United. I have to look at Manchester United. Because, and I have to say, a lot of Manchester United fans that I talk to are real. They know Wagwan. They know they need players. But I have to say that there are some YouTubers in this game who keep going off the constant sound bites. Sound bites such as, this is the right profile. They would go out there and get a player of less quality than a player who's more expensive. But they'll be telling the fan base, they'll be telling themselves, guys, we've got the right profile. That is what we need. And they deceive themselves in thinking that they've got a very good squad. But you don't. You don't have a very good squad. You don't have a squad that can actually compete 2 games per week, playing 2 quality level oppositions per week, playing 2 quality level competitions such as the Champions League and the Premier League. And when you try and tell them this, they tell you you're delusional. And then you have these outputs, you have these results. And then they can't understand why you have these outputs and these results. The team is just not good enough. Michael Carrick had a good stint. He had a good stint. You know, he came in after Amorim. He brought the good vibes. He took the shackles off the rigid formation that Amorim had. And he had a good run. But now is when we're going to see what he is made of. Now is when we're going to see what is going to be shown from a tactical perspective. Now we're going to see whether these players, after that feel-good factor that engulfed them in, towards the time that Carrick came in, now we're going to see whether that is truth. And I think you're in for the rude awakening that I have been thinking you guys will be under. Because Rashford came on and he looked a shadow of himself. You know he doesn't want to be there. You know he does not want to be there. It's very, very clear. Mbeumo, I mean, if we're being honest and we're being truthful, Mbeumo will tag along. Mbeumo will score some goals. He will pull his weight. Cunha has started again being bad. Fernandes, I don't know what he was doing, but let's have it right. Let us have it right. 67 minutes or 66 minutes. The two new signings, Stinker and Hooked. Tielemans, poor. Andre Santos, poor. And when I was saying to people, you guys need legs, I was laughed at. That's what I was saying. That's what I was literally saying. And then I'm watching this game and I'm watching Tielemans and I'm watching, to be fair, Andre Santos actually put in some good tackles. But I'm watching Tielemans run back. I'm watching Tielemans attempt to run back as if he's running in quicksand. United fans, I mean, at least you guys have got Baleba. You've got Baleba, but even with Baleba, he's a youngster. He's a young G. He's got some Premier League experience, and I'm not going to judge him based on last season and how poor he was. However, I don't think he's the answer to your problems. I genuinely don't think so. I don't think he's the answer to your problems. And I think that this is going to be a long season. Had you guys had just one game a week, you know what? I would have understood. I would have said, you know what, Manny, listen, they have one game a week. They've got more time on the training ground. They will bounce back. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I actually think that your summer transfer window is also done. I think it's done. What's today's day? Today's the 22nd. Today's the 22nd. The 31st, which is when, or the 1st, which is when I think the transfer window will be done. We've literally got how many days? 7, 8, 9, 10 days to the end of the transfer window. 10 days. What are you getting in? You've got 2 strikers, right? You got Xerxes, you got Sesko. You got Cunha that can play up top. You got Mbeumo that can play up top. You got Rashford that can play up top. So they're not going to sign a striker. They won't. You got wingers. You got Dogu that can play on the left. You got Rashford that can play on the left. You got Cunha that can play on the left. They're not buying a left winger. You got Mbeumo that can play on the right. Dogu can play on the right. You got Ahmad that can play on the right. You're not going to get a right winger. You got Ahmad that can play in the 10. Fernandes that can play in the 10. Mbeumo that can play in the 10. Xerxes that can play in the 10. You're not buying a 10. You got now Baleba in midfield. You got Fernandes that got put in midfield, so you can play there. You got Mainu. You got Andre Santos. And you got Tielemans. They're not buying another midfielder. You got Lisandro Martinez as centre-back. You got Lenny Yoro as centre-back. You got Heaven as centre-back. You got Maguire as centre-back. You got, who have I missed? There's someone else. You got Mazraoui that can play centre-back. There was someone else as centre-back as well. De Ligt as centre-back. They're not buying another centre-back. You're short at left-back, but I mean, Shea Lacey is being deployed there as well. And a right back, you got Dallo, you got Mazraoui. You are not getting any more players, I don't reckon. I don't reckon you're getting any more players. So this is the team. So we will be there. We will be there when the YouTubers who were gassing this team up, pre-season FC, we will be there for the reckoning. It's game week 1, but I give it to game week 5 for the meltdown. The meltdown to start. And to be fair, the meltdown has started already. Big up to Saeed, my brother. And he was in meltdown. But guys, we will be there.